Okay, so I'm back for round two. I'm going to start trimming a little bit more off of this top edge here because it's just sitting kind of level right now, and I want it to angle downwards so there's no risk of water running inside the van. I did put some, let's see, where is it? I grabbed just some regular sealant, like I don't know if this is actually silicone or just something DAP's brand, and it's something similar, but I just put that around the edge to seal here, and it got really kind of messy, and in hindsight I should have just used some masking tape to put around the entire thing. That way I could just smear it on there and then just pull the masking tape off and it would be clean. But you know, I've seen somebody do it before and they didn't do that, and there didn't seem to be an issue, but apparently it's an issue. So, you know, you just, having not really done this job before, you just kind of learn as you go. So definitely I would throw some masking tape on here before and go around, and that way it would be easier to deal with later. I mean, this will clean off, but it's just going to be more work. So I have some ideas of how I'm going to frame this in here and brace it so it's secure, but first thing I need to do is just trim some more off of this. It's like the 500th time that I've gone over this with a jigsaw, and I just can't, you know, it's like no matter how much I take, and then if I take off too much, then you've got too big of a gap. So you got to take off little by little, and that just takes a long time. So I'm going to do that now, and hopefully sooner than later here we'll get it to where it kind of angles the right way. You know, maybe kind of just a slight, I just want a slight angle down to the outside. So okay, finally I've got a little bit of an angle, which is, it's enough for me. You know, it's not level, so it does angle down just a little bit, not too much, and that's about perfect. It's about what I wanted, and so that's good. I'm gonna leave it like that, and the next thing I want to do is just cover up these vents on both sides. The top is okay, but this side and this side have got some vents sticking out, and so what I'm going to do is use some of this aluminum tape, because this stuff sticks pretty good and it doesn't lose its stickiness over time. It'll just stay there. It's not very durable, but I'm going to put something else over it to seal, you know, obviously this gap, but at least it'll block these vents, because I don't want these things exposed to the inside air. So okay, so I got a few braces on the top here with a bunch of screws going through this and then through these two woods, which are kind of pressing against the back side of this, and just also pressing down. Like, it's just kind of, that alone has it pretty secured. I've got these sides, I put some aluminum tape on there. Like, I mean, it sticks really good to the wood, so that's just an additional, you know, airtight sealant measure. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. I don't know how. I mean, I'm still going to put some wood over this, and from the outside I'll put some silicone or something. The outside of this top, I'll probably use the construction sealant to try and hold it in there a little bit more. But this side, I'll most likely, I think I'll just use regular sealant. Down here, there's some sort of weird stuff going on. There was like a couple of little white plastic, almost looked like drain holes, and then there was also like an opening to like what looked like a little vent there. So like there was an opening in the metal, and there was, I could see white, and I don't know what it was. So, but all of this from here back would normally be outside. So I was like, I don't know if that ends up being a drain or something, or it needs to be outside. I want to try to I don't want to have that inside. So I routed it back outside. I used some corrugated plastic stuff. That's going to be pretty much waterproof. Water's not going to hurt it. And then I'm just kind of sealing that up with aluminum tape. I still have just a little bit here to go. And then this corrugated stuff just covers that area and kind of leaves it, just kind of leaves access to it, so air and so forth can still get in. I'll cut this off, but like, you know, you can kind of see in there, that white right there, that's like, I don't know what that is. Let's see, you can barely see it. There it is. And then on either side of that, I can actually see right here, there's one of them there. This thing, you just barely see it. So like, there's one on this side too. And so those, whatever they are, they can run. If it does end up being some sort of a drain or an air intake of some sort, it can still have access to that here. You know, and I'm not screwing it up. So I won't seal this up. I'll leave this open. And instead, I'm going to put some bracing and stuff here and seal everything up from the inside. So, but yeah, I just now saw that because I don't normally look underneath the air conditioner. You don't normally get that view, but once it was in this position, I saw that and I decided to go ahead and change the way I was doing things a little bit to accommodate for that and just make sure that it's sealed from the inside instead of the outside. So I've been working at this for a while. I'll do a progress check here. I've got some bracing here at the top, screwed into the plywood, and this kind of presses down into this little channel that comes with the AC, just to make sure that the screws that screw into the AC, which are really tiny, don't come loose and come out. So that also helps to hold those down, and then it also presses back against the plywood and just kind of braces it from the top. It's pretty sturdy. I just got some strips of plywood here, kind of bracing from the side, not just bracing it but also strengthening, because this is just 1/2-inch plywood here. So I got one of those on each side. I just started I started with a 2x4 down here and got a, what is this, like a 2x3 or something, I guess. After that, because the problem is it just is not really offering much support under there, and there's different levels of this thing. So this, you know, offers just a little bit of support here. This one goes up just a little bit higher and supports it right here, and this little 2x2 goes up even higher and supports it on these legs. Not that I think it really needs it, but you know, like if you hit some major bumps and this thing is like moving with that's I think when this would help offer the support there. You know, and furthermore, these two kind of go in at an angle, the same angle as this piece here. And this piece I straightened out so it would totally put support on these feet. So that's why there's a gap here, which I should probably do something with that. But I put some of the Sika construction adhesive around kind of all this stuff, just because I have extra, and that'll help support as well as seal. I did notice that there's this housing here is kind of loose, so like, you know, you could probably see outside, you know, some light, and I don't know if that needs to be sealed, but it's loose. And this is ultimately, like, these are the vents here, so this would normally be outside, so I may end up sealing around here just in case with some silicone or something type stuff. What else did I get? So I feel like it's in there pretty good. So now I have like a million screws coming out the back side. So this is what I'm going to deal with now. I did put some sealant around all the edges here, as well as on the bottom here. Got to trim this piece of plastic out a little bit more. But right now, I'm going to take this knockoff Dremel and see if I can use that to successfully cut off all these screws, and hopefully that will work. You know, I mean, if it's like taking an entire disc per screw, like then I'm the one that's screwed, because I don't have enough of those things. So hopefully it'll just cut right through those, and this won't be a big deal. So I got 2.5 done, and I lost a disc. It didn't run out of disc. I didn't grind it down to nothing, but it actually broke on me. So I think I gotta just be a little bit more gentle, but I think I can get several of these with one disc as long as they don't break. So and they actually cut fairly easily. I'm pretty happy about that too. So this calls for another one of these. Plus I got a lot of stuff to do later on after this, so this is going to be caffeine well spent. I feel like I'm done for now, at least. I can't think of anything else needs to be done here. Everything here on this inside is pretty much sealed, embraced. Would like to put more braces on the side, but I don't know if I can screw into this thing. I don't know what's behind here. I don't want to screw into any refrigerant lines, but it really doesn't need it, I don't think. The top and the bottom are pretty secure. Then all the screws have been cut down, and I've put sealant over each one of them. So pretty much everything is sealed, embraced. The only thing I might need to do is still repaint this outside when this is all dried and cured, and then of course create some duct work for this, and then tap into maybe somewhere up in there. But other than that, I can't for the life of me think of anything else that needs to be done besides letting all this dry. I just don't know how else I can brace this, or if it even needs it. But this can, in time, those things will reveal themselves as well, so I don't necessarily need to do anything. I mean, as long as it's secure now, which I think it's pretty secure. I mean, the whole van shakes and the whole door shakes when I do this, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't know if I'm gonna do this right now or later, but this will be the next step, and then paint. I don't need to paint this stuff. This is not too important, I don't think, any more than it is important that I paint this, which I'm not planning on doing, so why paint this? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've sealed up every little gap and crack and opening that I've found, just in case. And I guess I could test it. That's not gonna fit there. All right, maybe I'll test it later on when I'm done. Yeah, so this will be next, and I have to figure out exactly. I think I'll probably try and go into whatever's behind here, because that's plastic. There's nothing up here. This duct work is made of this stuff, the sealing material, and so I feel like it'll be harder to attach stuff to that. So I'm gonna maybe go right before into because there's plastic behind here, and see if I can tap into that somewhere. And here we have the final product, pumping out nice cold air, which is exactly what we want. This vent here on the left kind of blows straight back past this refrigerator down the length of the van, so it actually does a really good job of keeping the entire backside of the van cooled, just because of the way the vent is facing. The one I had on the side window faced directly across the van and the air didn't go anywhere. So this kind of makes me wonder, do I even need to tap into this vent system right here? Maybe this would work, unless I put a cabinet right here and it kind of starts to block this off. This other one does a good job of keeping this whole electrical system cool, which is something else I was hoping to do. Maybe I'll route some of this cold air down here, because this stuff can get really hot, especially in the summer, and that just kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable. That's one of the reasons I replaced the last battery bank. It was just quickly overheating no matter what I did, and it wasn't even summer yet. So I don't like seeing the temperature like on this Victron. Now it says it's 101, and I just turned this thing on. If this thing runs for just a short amount of time, that temperature will drop substantially, just because so much of that cold air is just getting stuck right back there. I could take and route some of this up over the refrigerator and kind of underneath this sign here to kind of cool this backspace, but I'm not really sure. I'll run with this for a little bit and see how it works out, and then what I need to do. And that also is going to determine, when I put this cabinet back in here, how much space that takes. So any finishing touches that this needs, I'll have to do later, but for right now, I'd say this is a success.